In the next group of clips, we are gonna see Mr. Sterling in a situation of training. We will see some of the aspects that we analyzed in the previous video under a situation of higher level of stress. Still not competition, but necessarily the environment creates an extra difficulty to perform the activities that are required. So let's start with the walking, and we can see just from the beginning how the landing is happening with the outside part of the foot, and when he does that, the projection of the knee is outside of the area of landing. Let's observe in the next one. The foot is facing out, landing with the outside, and the knee rotates towards the wall in this case. Watch the other foot, same thing, facing out, rotating outside, landing with the out, and the knee landing out, outside of the area of support. This creates a curvature in the leg with compressive forces inside of the knee, tensile forces outside of the knee, and similar situation at the level of the ankle. Let's observe the next one. You can see how he is crossing. Somebody can say, well, he's changing direction, but in any case, this happens most of the time when he's walking, landing with the outside knee, middle of the knee projection outside of the area of support. And here again, see the foot facing out, knee facing in a different direction of the walking, and the foot, you can see the knee moving towards the outside of the foot. This creates this position of the leg where the load internally is higher than should be. Watch the other foot again. You can see the outside of the foot touching first in the ground. One more time. And if we observe when he starts to run, we will see that the position of the legs are conserved and consistent with his walking. The landing is with the outside of the foot. You can see that better in that position. The outside of the foot, and the projection of the knee is outside of the foot. Let's see in the next one. Foot is facing out. There we go. That's the best view at this point. You can see very clearly how this is the middle of the knee and is coming more or less, if you allow me, this is perpendicular to the ground, outside of the area of contact. So compressive area, tensile area, and at the level of the hip something else similar is happening, and at the level of the ankle as well. So if you calculate the amount of thousands of repetitions since he started to play soccer, and you will see in the next video that this is not something that happened in the last few years. This started very early on. He maintains the same mechanic that when he started to play professionally. Means that probably he always ran this way. We are talking about thousands of repetitions that created load in areas that are not prepared for that, and probably were components of the injuries that he sustained during the years. Again, here is clear the landing with the outside of the foot, and Same thing, the projection of the knee falling outside of the area of support. Even it's noticeable here that he's a very muscular guy. He has a huge amount of strength and physical capacity. He runs very fast, he can fight, and you can see the upper body muscularity. However, the calves are not as developed as the rest of the body. Means that the mechanical capacity when he is doing his activities is not stimulating this area as much as he stimulates the rest of the body. Very well here you can see the landing with the knee falling very well outside of the foot, and here the angle between the femur and the tibia is clear. Big angle that creates compressive area inside. And when you change the position of the leg, of course, the muscles are working in a different way that they should or they are prepared for, right? Because the insertions are changing the angles of the muscles in relation to the mechanics. So where the knee should be at this point, the knee should be here, inside of the foot. So we are talking about several centimeters of movement laterally of the knee in relation of where it should be. And with the amount of work done and the amount of hours that he is in competition at high level of intensity and stress, with fatigue, etc., the mechanics usually gets aggravated. So if we start with this mechanic at the moment of fatigue, we will see probably aggravation of these aspects that I am mentioning right now. In a more soccer-related activity, we will see that same situation is happening. Look at the position of the foot here. The knee is outside of the foot, and this creates difficulty to push. This is probably why the calf is developed in the way that I showed you before, but the knee should be here in order to be able to push and have a more powerful and safe organization of the movement. Look at the position of the body, knee outside of the position of the area of support. The other knee is already prepared in the air to land in the same way. You can see how he is pushing with the foot in the wrong position. Look at the angle here. The knee should be here. You can see the compression in this area and the traction. Look at the other foot. Again, he's moving in this direction, but the foot is facing the other direction. It's in angle. Compressive force here. Look at the position of the foot. The other foot is also facing, so basically he is moving in a V. Look at the position of the knee outside of the foot again. And now when he is landing to kick, most of the time, in a very frequent way, he's landing with the outside of the foot, with the center of gravity way outside of the area of support, and after kicking, he tends to roll the foot out. You can see how he rolls the foot out, producing also compressive forces in the knee, in the ankle, and of course a change in position in the lower back. So all these are characteristics that most probably are involved in the injuries that he sustained over the years, and it's not important just to prevent further injuries and to extend the life of this player, but also when you have inefficiencies in the mechanics, you decrease your physiological opportunity because you get tired sooner, and therefore your participation in the game start to lose efficiency. So these aspects that I am mentioning are not necessarily only for the purpose of analyzing the injuries only, which is of course very important, but these all are related to other aspects of the performance as well. And when you have an athlete with pain, with fatigue, or with difficulties of movement in general, just because the mechanic is wrong, you will have necessarily a decrement in performance and capacity. And when you have an athlete of these characteristics at the top of the level, and you are able to find this opportunity of improvement, I think that should be taking the advantage of changing as much as possible to create the opportunity for the next level of performance for this type of players.